In Lesson 6.3, we are looking at application of converting measurement in the metric system. Let's go ahead and begin on our whiteboards. We have been talking about multiplying and dividing by powers of 10 with decimals. So would you please number 1 to 3 on your whiteboard? Number 1 to 3 on your whiteboard. You can just give answers only. We'll do the first one together. Remember, if we're dividing, the decimal point moves to the left. If we're multiplying, it moves to the right. So just remember, 500 is the same as 500 and 0 tenths. So you just have to be aware of that. 15 is the same thing as 15. Let me make that look more like a 5. 15 and 0 tenths. So it helps to put that decimal point in there. So the first one, if we are dividing by 10 to the second power, it means the decimal point is moving 2 places to the left. So the answer would be 5 and 0 tenths. Would you please complete number 2 and 3? Pause your video so that you can do this. All right, 3 and 1/10 times 2 to the second power. My decimal point is going to move to the right 1 place, 2 places, so I have to put a 0 in there. 310 or 310 and 0 tenths. Same thing. Number 3, 15 times 10 to the third. 1 place, 2 places, 3 places, so I have to add in 2 zeros. So 15 times 10 to the third is 15,000. All right, wipe off your whiteboard. Again, remember 1,000 is the same thing as saying 1,000 with 0 tenths. If we are dividing, our decimal point is going to move to the left. If we are multiplying, our decimal point is going to move to the right. Here we go. 37 and 3 tenths divided by, give you a little clue, 10 to the second power. 80 and 8 tenths times 10 to the third. We're multiplying, so it's going to move to the right. And 1,000 divided by 10 to the fourth, we're moving to the left. Pause your video and answer these 3. Moving to the left 2 places would give me 373 thousandths. Moving to the right, 1, 2, 3, I have to add in 2 zeros. 80,800. And moving 4 places to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know that 1/10 is the same thing? You can take off those zeros. It doesn't change the value. All right, I'm going to skip that one. We're going to go ahead and move into page 201 in your math journal, page 201. Converting metric units. Math message. There are 100 centimeters in a meter. Use this information to write a rule in the function machine. Then complete the What's My Rule table at the right. So, the rule is we are going to multiply by 100 for every meter. Do you know another way to say that is multiplying by 10 to the what power? To the second power. So, real easy on the first one. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 2 meters is 200 centimeters. 3 meters is 300 centimeters. 4 meters is 400 centimeters. And 5 meters is 500 centimeters. Pretty easy on that one. Now we're going to convert between the given units to complete the What's My Rule table below. use exponential notation to write each rule. So we're going to convert in 2a between centimeters and millimeters. So we're going to multiply by 10 because there are 10 millimeters in every centimeter. So we're going to multiply by 10. How would we write that? Using exponents. 10 to the first power. Make sure that exponent is raised and to the right. So, in other words, multiplying by 10. 3 times 10 is 30. Again, when we are multiplying, that decimal point is going to move to the right. So 4 7/10 times 10 to the first power just moves one place. 47. So now the opposite works. So if we're now moving the other direction, that's division, and we're going to move the decimal point. Right now it's right here. 50, 5 0/10, 17 0/10. So if that helps you, write that in your math journal. So we're going to move it, remember, multiplying by 10 to the first power if it moves to the right, but now we have the answer, so we have to do the opposite. Divide by 1. So move it one place to the left, you get 5 0/10. Or just plain 5. Move it one place to the left, you get 5 tenths or 50 hundredths. Move it one place to the left, you get 1 7/10. Write a rule you could use to convert from millimeters to centimeters. Hint, how can you find the in number if you know the out number? We just did that, right? We divide by 10 to the first power. 3a, convert between grams and kilograms. There are 1,000 grams in every kilogram. That first one gives us our answer. So the rule is notice the number gets smaller, doesn't it? We're dividing. And how many zeros? 1, 2, 3. So 10 to the third power. That's where I got that. So remember, if this helps you, put the decimal point here, decimal point here, decimal point here. That might help you a little bit. All right, so we're going to divide by 3. So if we're moving our decimal point to the left, it means we're dividing. So dividing by 10 to the third means move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. 2 5/10 or 2 500 thousandths. Dividing by 10 to the third is 1, 2, 3 zeros, or 3 places, excuse me. Now, if we have the answer in the output in these 3, we're going to do the opposite, which is multiplying. So the decimal is going to go to the right. Moved it to the left when we were dividing, so we have to move it to the right. So we're going to move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. 8,000. Move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. 800. And move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Add a 0. The answer would be 80. So write a rule you could use to convert from kilograms to grams. In other words, how could you find the in number if you know the out number? Well, we multiply by 10 to the third, which means move the decimal place 3 places. Number 4. There are 43 milligrams of caffeine in a bottle of iced tea. How many grams of caffeine is that? Answer the question below to solve. So, what units do you need to convert? Milligrams to grams. Milligrams to grams. From milligrams to grams. How are these units related? Well, 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram. So what are we going to do? We are going to be dividing by 10 to the, how many zeros? 10 to the third power. So in goes milligrams, out comes grams. So in goes 1,000. We divide by 3, remember? So 1, 2, 3, 1 gram. Write your answers to part A and B in the What's My Rule, which we did. How many grams is 43 milligrams? So let's put in 43 milligrams. And we're dividing by 3. So remember, my decimal point is right here, right? So 1, 2, 3. 43 thousandths grams. Let's move on to journal. Let's see, what page are we on? We won't be able to do all of these. Page 202. Solving conversion stories. Solve the number stories below, show your work, and label the units for each step. Max has a shelf that is 1 3/10 meters high. If he places a lamp that is 45 centimeters high on top of the shelf, what is the height from the floor to the top of the lamp in meters? So what units do you need to convert? Well, we are converting from centimeters to meters. And we know that there are 100 centimeters we just found on the previous page in 1 meter. What rule can you use to convert from the units you have to the units you need to solve the problem? Well, we are going to, whatever our answers, we're going to divide it by 10 to the second power. Where did I get 10 to the second power? Right here. Okay. So if we have 45 centimeters divided by 10 to the second power, remember the decimal point is right here. 45 is the same as 45 and 0/10. We move it 2 places to the left. It's 45 hundredths of a meter. Let's try one more. 2. Alita has a cough. Her mother gave her 10 milliliters of cough syrup and 5/10 of a liter of water. How many milliliters of liquid was Alita given in all? Well, we're going to write down 1 liter is the same as 1,000 milliliters. We know that she had 5/10 of a liter. 5/10 of a liter. We're multiplying that by 10 to the third power. Remember, it's getting larger, so we're going to multiply. We move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have to put in 2 zeros. So we would say 500 milliliters. So if we take that 500 milliliters plus the 10 milliliters, don't forget to add that in, we would get 510 milliliters. And we won't worry about the rest of this page.